Hey, good morning. It is 11:59. The morning is almost over. It is afternoon in another minute. It is March 31st, 2017. I'm Robert Bob TV Brown. I want to welcome you to another episode of Freedom on Fire, Hardcore Politics Edition. Today we're going to talk about a subject that's very irritating to me, and just going to get right into it because people of America, don't be hoodwinked, don't be bamboozled, don't be fooled by the media or different political narratives concerning Russia. This Russia stuff is getting a little bit too dangerous. It's too, it's like this: when you poke on a pit bull, later on he's gonna start barking on you and bite and snap on you. And I'm asking, we have American people, we have to get in the ear of our politicians, tell them, dude, stop, stop. Stop trying to poke a war or poke or play with Russia. Russia has been trying to be a friend of ours for the past 20 years now. They're not communists anymore, so we need to stop this red scare. They're corporatists, just like America. They believe in capitalism now, not communism. They run thriving businesses and people have jobs there. Sure, it's under a funny rule of law, and this is what gets me. Just because Putin has been president more than one time, what make you think he's a dictator? This was getting me with America. We figured that, well, if their way of governing is not like ours, then they must be a dictator, because we only allow our presidents to get 8 years, and some of these guys been in office for 10, 20 years. Now, I'm a guy for term limits, but what I look like trying to tell another country who should rule their land. If the people like the guy, like the people of Syria, like, they love Assad. If they like Assad, leave them people alone. Stop trying to get Assad out of office when they keep voting them in. They have elections. And if you study Syria, you'll find out Syria is a very multicultural company where Christians and Muslims thrive together. They have churches. And that's how Iraq was. Even though Saddam Hussein was a nutcase, he was not a Islamic terrorist. He was not, well, he was not like ISIS. He didn't promote Wahhabism and things like that. And it's my way or the highway, or we'll cut your head off if you don't join us and stuff like that. Saddam Hussein wasn't like that. And Saddam, even though his butt was crazy, he ran a stable country. And the same thing with Gaddafi. Stable country, open to capitalism, open to working with America. Kind of respected democracy, but had their own way of running society and doing for the people and things like that. Both of those countries had universal health care. Both of those countries had no cost education. Both of them even actually paid people to come into this country to go to school and bring that American style working in the medical field or working in the corporate field over to their country. Yet America still struggle with health care, with education, and a whole host of things. Today I'm talking about who's really undermining the election. Recently, the Washington Post put out an article saying that they Russians hacked the grids from a laptop in Vermont at the Vermont Power Plant. They put out the article, and people balled on it. They put the bait out, and this is what the news media does. That's why the Washington Post is fake news, CNN is fake news, all these people are fake news, because they'll throw a story out there as fish bait. You hook on it, you believe that crap, and then they go back and run a small op-ed apologizing for it, a retraction, apologizing for it. You didn't even see that. They lied to you, you bought into the lie, and you did not even see it. Yet you still believe in the lie after they done retracted it. It's an easy way for them to shape your mind on what's going on when it's really not going on, but they're saying it's going on because they want you to believe it's going on so you can think it's going on, so you can continue to go that direction of a lie, a bald-faced lie. It was proven that that was not at all true. They ran a retraction. I'm going to read the retraction. There was a retraction and the New York Post. They keep throwing these stories about Russia and not even, number one, they have not even checked the Democratic Party servers to see how the Russians, how can you say they undermined the Democratic Party elections when you won't even look at the things that will prove to you that they were undermined? They have not looked at not one system of the DNC to prove that Russia interfered in the election. No proof. And all they say is intelligence sources and won't even name you the intelligence sources. I'm like Donald Trump. Look, name the intelligence sources. Because if you can't name it, how do I know you're not lying? And 9 times 10, they are lying. Name the source. They can't name the source because it's a fabricated lie. And the CIA even retracted some of it, and they ought to see lie to me. And the not so secret service. And the NSA. I ain't gonna. I got my initials for NSA. I'm not gonna say it. They might be hacking into this computer right now. Lies upon lies, putting out narratives, then retracting them, and leave you hanging, still believing the narrative, and you the fool, believing that. And he's still talking about this stuff today with no concrete evidence that Russians undermined the elections. WikiLeaks put out some stuff. Gucci for one, too, put out some stuff. They're Romanian hackers who are not even part of Russia. Not no more. And even if there was, they're individuals. That doesn't mean that this was a Russian sanctioned event. Just like we got people hack people all the time. All the time. Young people, old people hacking people all the time in different countries. But do that mean it was a U.S. sanctioned event? That person get caught, go to jail. Do that mean U.S. was involved with that? No. So why are we assuming that Russia was involved in that? And a lot of times when they do track this stuff, they track a VPN number. And if you ever use a VPN service, a lot of it is from different parts of Russia and different parts of Europe and things like that. That don't mean the Russians had something to do with it. That means me, Robert Brown, sitting in the United States, want to do some browsing on another computer. I use a VPN service, and I put and I go through search through websites through my VPN number and address that I got from another country. You thinking it's coming from Russia when it's actually coming from me here in the United States. But I'm using a Russian VPN. Stop. You have no proof. Stop. Every time you say something like that, you can be debunked. Rachel Maddow with her going off, talking about a friend of mine who I support, the same progressive, sitting up there lying saying her site had something to do with Russian hacking and things like that. Stop. We already know from the primaries that David Brock and Correct the Record was doing some nasty stuff, trying to shut people's sites down. How do we know it wasn't them that did this? Go ahead with that. So I'm not going to believe it, and I'm an average Joe, which means I don't need to be a brain surgeon to realize they're lying to you. They are lying to you. They have no proof, no evidence. They make the story up, hoping you'll buy it, hook or crook, and then have you going down a path, and then they turn around and go another way, retrack it, and tell the truth, but yet you're still going down that path, and that path is the path of destruction, and having your support to go in and do sanction against Russia or attack Russia. And Russia is not trying to undermine our election. And if anybody need to be accused of undermining an election, it's the United States government. We've undermined elections and by removing people out of power, like Muammar Gaddafi. We was going to undermine a new leader there, but we just banked out of that place after we destroyed it, thanks to Hillary Clinton and Obama. We did it with Iraq. We removed Saddam Hussein and put Maliki in there. We've done it with Palestine. We try to do it with Palestine. We want to do it with Syria. We want to do it with Iran. We're trying to spread democracy like it's peanut butter, and these people don't want no peanut butter. They like mayonnaise, pickles in it. They got their own form of democracy, their own form of rule. They're not asking for you. And that's why we look like terrorists. We are looking more of a terrorist than Al-Qaeda and ISIS because of our bullying in America. Now, let me get to the subject at hand. It's a distraction. All it is a distraction. They don't want you to even think about how the DNC, Donald Brazille, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and yes, Hillary Clinton, Robbie Mook, David Brock, Neera Tanden, and a host of others undermined and rigged the election. Political figures and third party partisan hacks from different PACs and things like that manipulate this election. Hillary Clinton, with this Ready for Hillary Fund, put the superdelegates in a position where she can leverage them to make sure that she got their vote. No matter how great Bernie was, no matter how much he was beating Donald Trump, she still strong-armed their vote to make sure they stick with her when Bernie was clean as shop. Almost like an extortion. Now, these are my opinions. Strong arm, a muscle. And I believe that if they would have backed off, there would have been the next ethic charge coming up, and then because that whole thing was an ethic issue, and it still need to be investigated. You got super delegates that are going to jail because of ethic charges. You don't think that's by happenstance? You got Bill de Blasio up for ethic charges. You don't think that's by happenstance? You don't think running for governor may not have been her plan? Running for mayor for New York may have been her plan B if she didn't get the presidency, and all she has to do is move him out. Might well move him out. He waited so late to endorse me. He's not a friend of me at all. Narcissist, sadistic, cunning, conniving lady. Hillary Clinton is. Those culprits undermined U.S. elections way before Russia. They plotted and schemed. They changed the polling stations. I had a young old elderly lady normally goes around the block to the polling station. Now she got to go cross town to the polling station. Now I'm quite sure there was hundreds of others like her who just didn't go cross down because it was just too much for them to do that, to vote in the primaries. And Democratic Party was responsible for shutting down the polling stations. They're responsible for changing the polling station. They're responsible for minimizing where you can have long lives where you get frustrated and just leave. They're allowing presidential candidates just to come in and out of the place, and they had nothing to do with it. Bill Clinton all outside Massachusetts voting place trying to use his smoothness to get people to vote for his wife. Illegal, against the law. Nobody pressing charges on that, and they need to. They moving the date to change affiliation way at the beginning of the race versus at the latter end of the race, perfectly 1 month before the actual primary start for that particular state. They want you have to change over way back then before you knew who even running. Of course they did that on purpose because nobody really knew Bernie, but everybody knew Hillary Clinton. So you had to change your affiliation. Dropping people from the rolls. 300,000 people didn't get a chance to, 3 million didn't get a chance to vote, and 300,000 or 100,000 was dropped from the rolls in Brooklyn. Undermining and rigging the election. You go to the convention and you got a chance to take over the delegates, but yet they changed the rules right on the spot. Rigging of election. Changing the debate schedule, accusing the other party of looking into somebody's database so you can take their database away from them and hold it hostage. That's rigging the election. Feeding debate questions right before the debates. That's rigging elections. But yet you sit here and you look back and forth with them lying eyes. No, we were fair to Bernie Sanders. We're fair to all our candidates. We don't have a favoritism. Lie. Line, sack of lie. You learn from the master, Hillary Clinton, your mentor. Lie. And what gets me is these so-called civil rights leaders that are for the ballot box and talking about we need to have fairness in the ballot box. He knows this, Jim. You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about John Lewis. He knows she undermined the election. She had to step down from it. Yet he goes and campaign for her when he should have been calling her out for election fraud and election rigging and had her charged and trial and put in jail. And if we still can do that, people, I don't know. Somebody tell me, inbox me, whatever. Let me know, because we the people need to do that because they undermine election. How are we going to sit there and try to rally people to go against Russia for helping so-called helping Trump with no proof when we got the freaking proof that the DNC hacked the rigged the elections, and we know who did it, and we haven't pressed charges. We got the evidence, like Donna Brazille said, ample evidence. We got ample evidence. We got ample evidence of the Democratic Party leaders swaying this thing toward the way of Hillary Clinton, trying to stick it in railroad to Bernie Sanders. And what get me, Bernie Sanders is too freaking nice. If it was up to me, thank God it was up to me. You gonna screw me? I bust my butt out here and try to win, and the whole time I find out that you're cheating. Now it's evidence. I kind of knew it, but now I see the evidence. Forget you. I'm running independent. How you like me now? I got half of your base. And the independents are jumping for joy because they didn't want to vote for your crooked Hillary anyway, or your crooked Donald Trump. They all going to vote for me. That's what I would have did. And he would have won in a freaking landslide. But no, he tucked his tail in between his legs. I'm going to endorse Hillary Clinton. And boy, was he sweating. Now, people say, well, he was strained by the family. We still don't have no proof of that. He was beat up. That mark was on there before. He just had a sad look because they applied some pressure on them. Chuck Schumer actually applied pressure to get him removed from different committees. Now he want to act like he is friend. Chuck Schumer, Doc, just newsflash, you are not no leader. You are not the Democrat leader. You're not leading Jack. Nancy Pelosi, you need to sit down. Retire while you're at it, because you can't even get it out. Now, I know I'm from the South, and I speak fast, and sometimes I butcher words. You can't even get a word out. President Obama, he's still a political leader, and Hillary Clinton run the popular vote. Stop with that, won the popular vote, because it wasn't that popular. The turnout for voting was low. I kept telling people in those areas where the vote really, really matters that you guys better get your base out if you plan on beating Trump, because Trump getting his boys out. Get your boys out. Don't look at the Green Party. Don't look at the Libertarian Party. Those are not your people, and they have the right to vote for whoever they want. They don't have to vote for your candidate. They found their candidate. They believe in their candidate, and they believe their candidate should be president. The problem is you didn't take the time to get to know these people, because you probably would have found out, yeah, I need to vote for them too, but they didn't introduce them to you because we're a tyrannical government, and we don't want other people's voices heard like any other country. This is a deflection, and they don't want you to see how crooked they are. And these are the things why they're going to lose again. 1,000 seats, Doc. David Wasserman Schultz, you were not a successful DNC chair. You need to sit your butt down. Democratic Party been losing races since you got in. And you had nothing to do with Obama winning 2 terms. Nothing. You had to follow his lead. You're taking credit for something he did. He's a great campaigner. He knows to go out there and cook the hot dogs. Go out there, play Frisbee, play with the dogs, go to the factory and put some parts, build some parts. He know how to work the people. Hillary Clinton didn't know how to do it, and you can't take credit for that. You need to take credit and go to jail. Had it been me, I would be in jail, just for the simple fact, if I was standing next to a polling station that was said that somebody threw away ballots, they would accuse me just because of this. That black man, he looked guilty. I think he did it. Man, I ain't did it. I'm not even a Democratic. I'm an independent. How you gonna throw me in jail, baby? It wasn't me. Why stop? When it was David Wasserman Schultz and her disastrous team of crooks. This is where you need to be looking. They undermined the U.S. elections. They hooked and crooked. They changed the polling station. They changed the dates, the register. They changed the rules at the last minute at the convention. They fed debates question to Hillary Clinton. They molded and shaped this thing. They told the lies on Bernie Sanders, made up stuff on Bernie Sanders to make him look bad, to embarrass him to other voters, to give Hillary, the golden girl, the edge. They did it. Who did it? The DNC, from Debbie Wasserman, Schultz, Robbie Mook, all of them guys. They need to be charged for high crime against the United States. They rigged the election, and their fingerprints are all in it, and it's proven. They're scared to get the FBI to serve it because they know the FBI is going to find out the truth that Russia had nothing to do with it. The FBI keep pinning this story. Let me read the. No, like I said, let me read this retraction from this other story, which bears listen to. Give me a moment. All right, so after Washington Post pulled that stunt on you guys, lied to you, and had you believe in that crap, they went and retracted the story. It was New York Post, dated January 1st, 2017. This is New Year's Day. Front page. All right, the Washington Post has retracted its story about Russian hackers penetrating the nation's electricity grid with the virus found in a Burlington, Vermont electrical company laptop. Authorities said that there is no indication of that so far, that Russians had penetrated the U.S. electric grid. No indication. According to the editor's note attached to a corrected version of the story on the paper's website. They didn't even put it in the paper. They put it on the website to keep you from knowing the truth and keep you down the road of believing this crap when it's simply not true. The computer at Burlington Electric that was hacked was not attached to the grid, the editor's note read. News of the supposed hack had set off a firestorm of recriminations with the Vermont leaders, calling Russian President Vladimir Putin a thug earlier Saturday after one of the state electrical utilities found a virus on a laptop computer. In other words, it wasn't even hooked up to a grid. It was hooked up to a laptop, which it is common for somebody to put viruses on a laptop. A lot of times those viruses come from the United States. A lot of times it comes from kids and teenagers. The thing about it is they use VPN numbers from other countries, oftentimes Russia. So just because you looked at the IP address, and see, I'm an identity theft risk management specialist outside of this. I train on this all the time. Just cause it says Russia doesn't mean that somebody in Russia did it. It could be people like me who decide to hide my VPN number when I use certain services and use a paid VPN service from Denmark, from Finland, you name it, from Russia, and you thinking I'm Russian. And a real smart intelligence agency is never going to have tracks leading to them. Tracks probably would lead to China or maybe somewhere in Mexico City. Excuse me. So it was a bald-faced lie. They told you a bald-faced lie, hooked you in, and now they still got you going down up. They still reeling you in after they done told the truth. Russia's not, never had, and even if they did, we do it all the time. We hack into, we do it a different way. No, we'll go in and bomb the crap out of you, remove the leader, kill the leader, and put in place somebody who we believe believes in democracy and encourage the people to vote for him. This is our puppet president. We want you to vote for them. That's undermining the election when they probably had somebody they wanted to take over, but America and American interests say, no, vote for this. And we'll probably say something like, we're not going to send you no food, no aid unless you vote for that person. That's how dirty we are. We did it to Libya. We went in there, tried to remove Gaddafi, tried to put in, with the plan of putting somebody else who we approve. But that didn't work out too well because those people fought your butt back. You had to get out of there. And that's how we got that Benghazi thing. Never been back. The place is decimated. A beautiful oasis full of gold and resources. Gaddafi, no, I go to that. And then we want to do it to Iran, and then we want to do it to Syria. That's our mode of operation. We rig elections by going in, bombing the heck out of the land, killing the leader, and placing in somebody who we can work with. Get out of here. We undermine elections more than anybody. And when I say we, I mean the United States government, not you, not me. But they're supposed to be representing us, and that's how the world is looking at us, thinking we had something to do with that when we don't. We never approve people. If you're in any other country, especially my Arab brothers in different land, if you don't get mad at us, we did not approve them to do jack. We told them, stay your butt over here and take care of America. Leave them people alone and let them have their life. We understand you guys wasn't bothering us. We went in there and bothered you because you had something we want. Resources. And we want to control the pipeline so we can have it going anywhere so we can make us money and the Saudis money. People, they're deflecting you with this Russia crap. They want you to get the eyes off them for the fact they undermined the U.S. elections first. They hooked and crooked to get a person in office. They changed the rules. They cut the polling stations. They messed with the ballots. They did all this stuff to try to get their golden girl. She pressured the superdelegate to not budge or vote against her, because if they vote against her, there will be hell to pay. They call it the Clinton list. They actually got this thing called the Clinton kill list. It actually exists. Many people who were affiliated with the Clintons who died bucking up against them. And I guess these people believe that, and they're like, whoa, no. Plus, some of them are just jockeying for a position. Okay, I vote for you. Are you going to do this for me? And just like Donald Trump inviting these people over to his office, yeah, you want this position? Kiss my ring. Hillary Clinton said, hey, you want to work in my cabinet? Kiss my ring. Give me your vote as a superdelegate. They need to get rid of the superdelegate system because it's unfair to the people who put these people in offices. They're no different from the freaking electoral college. The moment you want to get rid of electoral college as Democrat, get rid of the superdelegate. So don't be distracted, people. It's a plot. And the sad thing about it, if we don't stop them from doing this and push back against them, however way we can, we could be leading not only to a Cold War, but an actual war with Russia. Because Russia's not going to keep, they call Russia the bear. Ain't no bear going to let somebody keep poking them without him getting fed up and mauling them. And we're poking the bear. Leave them people alone. They're on our side. They didn't undermine the election. And if you want to call me a red puppet, go ahead. I'll call you a liar. I'll call you you call me a red puppet all you want. You're worse than a red puppet. I'll call you a traitor because you're focusing on this and not focusing on the real people who undermine the U.S. election. If you want to call anybody something, I will call you a traitor if you're going to call me a puppet. You're a traitor to the United States because you're looking at a dumb story that's not true with no evidence, when the real story is the Democratic Party undermining the elections first and still have not prosecuted these people who were involved. Wake up, people. And they're going to continue to lie. And at the same time, they're going to continue to retract, but you still bought the lie. And you still believe that. The intelligence sources, there is no intelligence sources because they can't name it. Why? Because they freaking made it up to go with their narrative. How about you tell them if they want to know the truth, take a look at the DNC servers. Before they bleach bit it like Hillary Clinton did hers. All these crooked politicians, all these punk politicians, they don't give a crap about you. All they want to do is push their narrative and push who they want in office so they can continue to get their money scheme going because they know Bernie was going to stop it. And then they want to do that and at the same time continue to undermine you and take corporate money and while railroading you at the same time, looking like they're for you and they're freedom fighters and they're the resistance, while at the same time they're putting in Trump cabinet, signing Republican legislature, being pretty much a Republican in a blue dress. And we got these fake politicians like Cory Booker and all these, Claire McCaskill, Heidi Camp, Republicans, Joe Manchin. And so I'm done. Don't be fooled. On Bob TV. Freedom on Fire. Hardcore Politics Division. Don't be hoodwinked. Don't be bamboozled. Peace.